Welcome, everybody. Glad you could all come. This should be an exciting adventure today, and we have No Black Thunder, who is the community manager for Strange Loop Games. He's here with us. Say hi.
Hi. I do not speaking very well English. Hello.
He speaks better than that. And from the Gang Z server and their world, Paul Source Jr.'s world, Gang Z, we have Mojo.
Oh, hi!
And Vortex.
Hello.
And they're here to also bother No Black Thunder and ask him a bunch of questions about what's going on. So I'm going to turn this over to Cage because I think he has the first set of questions.
The first question we have is from Yo Jimbo. Actually, that was pretty easy. When will ECO? And a lot of people ask this. This is probably the most asked for thing. When will ECO arrive on Steam?
Soon TM.
There you go.
It's actually to elaborate a little bit on that. It's a little bit hard to say when it will be arrived. When it's ready, it's something also we could say because Eric wants to release the game in maybe 3 to 6 months. Hopefully in 3 months, but well.
What, fully?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say. Whoa.
Release on Steam, yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah, we release on Steam for early access on Steam. We're gonna do early access on Steam first, and then we're gonna release it maybe later this year, by the end of the year. It's the plan. But as we all know, times you set up like plans, it's not always going as planned. So it's really hard to say. Instead of giving a date, I like to say soon, sometime in the future.
It's ready when it's ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't mind me saying, and I'm not a developer, and I don't tell people their business, but I've played a lot of early access games, and I can understand you guys wanting the game to be really, really polished, even in an alpha state before it goes on Steam. But for me personally, this game could be on Steam today easily. Yep. In my own, personal opinion.
I think that with having it early on Steam is not always a good idea because building up slowly a community like we're doing now and having a slow growth while fixing stuff and breaking stuff, which happens way too often with each update. It's like it would just give a lot of bad reviews to us, and it's really not always ready to be fully played, especially the staging builds. What people think is like, oh, staging build, yeah, that is the new build that is stable, like, oh.
I think there would have been a lot of nasty comments about those carts.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Before they were fixed.
Yeah, if it had been on Steam, those carts would have gotten horrible reviews. Yep.
Yeah.
Something that RimWorld did, which this game is already positioning to do, is they waited forever.
They did wait a long time.
Yep. Every single alpha build I played on their website, not on Steam, every time they released one, it was completely functional. They did hot fixes very fast. And as a result, I think that's why it stayed at the top of Steam's favored list for so long when it came out on Steam finally. It's still technically an alpha, but he just waited and waited and waited to put it out on Steam. Everyone's like, come on, we want a Steam release. Well, that wait paid off in the end.
Yeah.
People love that game.
I love that game.
Yo Jimbo had another one. He wants to know what's the next big update going to contain, and what you got planned for upcoming vehicles/storage items.
Okay. So we have something called that is stockpiles and realistic storage. Some of you might have seen it on our Facebook page because that's where we put out little secret videos from time to time with upcoming stuff. We have also other long-term, a lot of more government changes planned.
Oh.
Yeah, so waste and pollution management is something we have in work, and there are a couple of other surprises that I am not allowed to talk about yet.
That's pretty exciting.
He's holding out on you guys.
Tell me everything now.
This is an outrage.
What's your favorite part of the game? Okay, so I'm not sure if they were asking this of me or him. So why don't you answer, and then I'll give my answer. That way we get it
So I have been playing games a lot. Like I have been playing DayZ and 7 Days to Die and stuff like that, and Rust. And there's always one thing that I don't like about the games, and that's basically people going around just killing each other. The whole PvE thing, it's PvP thing. It's hard to get players to work with you together and have something realistically. So I love that ECO is all about the teamwork of players.
That's one of my favorite things about it too. Absolutely.
Something that I've noticed in people who are just getting the game. This is coming mostly from my audience, and no one directed the question to the stream or anything. Just as I'm thinking about it. A lot of people ask me straight up, hey, Vortex, should I buy this game? And I always tell them, I love this game, you should buy it, but I'm going to warn you that you really need to work to find a community out there to play with, or I'd recommend buying a 4-pack with your friends, because that's like the perfect, starting amount of people in an eco world. Yeah. And I think that's why the price model, I'm just making an assumption here, I think that's why the price model is set up that way, to encourage people to buy it together. That's how I interpret it.
Yeah,
so,
I think you're right. Yeah,
you're exactly right. So the price model, a lot of people say, "Oh, $40 for a single key, that is pretty expensive." And yes, it is expensive for the first, but the development is pretty expensive, and also we set the price pretty high because we don't want to everyone just buy Eco and then it's buggy, and then put it away and never touch it again.
Exactly.
So the $40 also help a little bit about you thinking, am I willing to support the developers creating the game? And if I'm willing to actually put into energy, it's a form of doing it, and it has been working pretty good so far, most of the time.
Right.
So.
And the other thing is too, if you buy, once you buy into it, and say you buy whether you buy one, because you can buy one now, or if you buy a 2-pack, which they have, or a 4-pack and get your community going, you can go back in now and buy single invites, and you get a price break. I believe they're $35 if you buy them once you have it, so that you can build your community that way.
It's correct. You get a $5 saving on every invite you buy.
I did not know that. Wow.
It has been actually a feature that was requested, and we were scratching our head like, you want to buy 500 keys? What?
Yeah. I want to get keys for my friends. I'm amazed at the number of people that come in that buy different ways. People have bought packages as gifts to give out to their friends, and there was a guy in there's an official Eco Discord chat, which everybody can come to. But there was a guy in the other night talking about how he and his friends got together, and they all started a PayPal fund, and they all contributed their money until there was enough money for them all to have keys. And then he went in and bought keys and bought a 4-pack and then a whole bunch of additional keys, and they started their community that way.
That's at this stage in the game, that is how I'd recommend people going about playing Eco is get friends first.
Yep.
Show them the game with YouTube videos, streams, etc. Get your community together first, which is not traditional. Usually a game forms community forms around people playing a game, 1 or 2 people, but I'm suggesting you find these friends who are interested beforehand. You have to kind of anticipate how long you're going to play, make sure everyone's going to contribute, and it's
it doesn't work as well when you're by yourself, basically.
Yeah,
exactly. It's not a game you can just buy and hope that people kind of show up and it works out.
Right. We have public servers.
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
Yeah, the whole thing is what I wanted to add. It's like a common question. Can you play this game single player? And it's like, yeah, maybe. Well, you can play alone by hosting your own server, but you will get pretty fast bored. Because everything takes so much longer doing it alone. It's more fun playing with friends.
So I was told from the jump that you guys the main reason you charged $40 for it, I guess it's still $40, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that you want to people to play it seriously. Now, is that price going to go down when it goes up when it goes on Steam, or is that going to be the price you're looking at, or you haven't decided yet?
We haven't decided yet. As I said, beside that having set high price, the other issue is the game development is actually pretty expensive. You can easily blow off like $500,000 a year with just 5 developers in software costs and average salaries and stuff like that. So it's not cheap developing a game.
I will never whine about the price of a game again. Oh, man.
On that subject, let me just add, if you've ever played Minecraft, which I'm sure plenty of people here watching ECO have probably played Minecraft at one point or another, imagine how much you paid for Minecraft. At the time when it first came out, it was really cheap, and it slowly got more expensive.
Right.
And I just want you to consider how many hours you got out of the game no matter what you paid for it. And then consider how much you'd be willing to pay for it today. Just knowing how many hours you could potentially sink into it. And I would argue that ECO can give you that same amount of like fulfillment in terms of like hours per dollar spent. And that's how I personally judge games when I'm thinking about spending $40 on a new indie game. So my whole point is I don't think $40 is an outrageous price when you consider all this game offers, all it has planned, how well the developers communicate with everybody. There's a lot of confidence here, at least on my end of it as a consumer, that these developers are going to be here for me, a year from now when they're still working on the game and I have a question or whatever.
Just know that it's not like, well, actually, that's another good point about it. It's not like anything else out there. And that could be a good point depending on how you look at it.
Right.
Like it's not like you're going to have zombies come in and attacking your home and you got to defend yourself. There's not much out there as far as stuff you have to be worrying about hurting you, okay, so there's a big meteor. Okay, fair enough. But other than that, you just have to worry about not poisoning the environment. And I look at that as something to strive for. So that's really not a problem with me.
I'm a little leery nowadays at buying a $20 alpha because I wonder in the back of my head, yeah, maybe they're going to sell a lot to start with, but is it really going to keep selling? And at $20 a pop, are they going to be able to have the money to fully develop this game?
That's a great point.
There's also the issue with if you suddenly get an overnight hit and sell millions of games and like you need to have the infrastructure getting it running, and having a slow community growing is better than having like a overnight thing and you don't have the capacity even to take care of everything.
All right, so Chris S, are the carts butt fixed? I'm guessing cart bugs.
Cart bugs, yeah.
That was in this update, right?
No,
Yes.
the butts on the carts.
Yeah, the butts.
The butts on the cart.
You heard it here first, folks. Butt carts coming in Alpha 6. Tell your friends.
Right?
Mine had a crack in it, so.
So Scene has been working really heavily over a long time now on fixing vehicles, and it has improved extremely. I wouldn't say it has been perfectly fixed because it's still an alpha and there will be bugs, and maybe the next update will break all the cards again, who knows. But for now they are mostly fine. There's some minor issues that I've seen where they still can sometimes disappear.
All right, next question from Chris S. Again, will there be more animals available to farm/raise as pets or livestock?
So more animals. You don't gonna have most likely any animals. You can have like a farm with like in Minecraft, where you can have a cow and a sheep and inside a bin, and you farm them for milk and stuff like that. This is nothing we have planned right now, and this is maybe we're looking at it in the future again or post-release. But first we need to fix animals in general, like the whole movement stuff, because that is still not as close as where we wanted. And after that, we need to see how much work it would get and how much it's requested and stuff like that. So for now, it would be no. You don't get stuff like that. But we're looking at increasing a little bit, like having the animals do more. Like they keep fighting each other, and you see that hunting each other. And maybe also in the future be able to attack the player, but that's nothing we have looked at it yet. Oh, that would be a cool thing we would love to do.
Vortak would
Have
love
the
to be
wolves
attacked by
attack you.
wolves. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Let me just put in my request for kitty cats, though. I need kitty
cats. Kitty cats.
I
had a pet fox for a whole video.
Oh.
Yeah, he was stuck on my stairs, and I could walk up and down and pet him, and all of that. It was pretty cool.
I get a lot of pets on my roof, it seems.
I got a question. And you guys probably get this a lot. Are you gonna have shift click in the game anytime soon?
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't. I have heard about it one time, but I haven't talked to John and the other guys yet about it.
Yeah, it's a big deal. You let them know it's a big deal. Okay.
They are gonna make it so the escape key will not bring
you saw
up
me
the
just do
options
that,
all
right?
the time.
You saw me do that, right?
Yep. They are gonna fix that. So.
Yeah. So there are a lot of things. Me and Eric, as an example, had a long time ago in one of the first alphas before I was anything more than just a backup. We had a small discussion. Like I was like, I want to have shift to be able to run, and he like, there's no game point in that. There's no point in having it. You don't need to run from things. But yeah, but it's nice to have.
I still hold shift. I hold it down every time I play this game.
Yep.
Yeah.
I vote for shift to run as well. Yeah, I don't have to run from something, but oh man, it makes it so much easier for me to traverse, even if it uses calories. I mean, that might be a great trade-off.
That's true.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I want to go fast.
I personally agree, and I think we can push it again. But yeah.
Okay, everybody jump on the forums and ask for it.
We want to go fast. Come on.
So I have a question. Is there any salt in the game?
Salt?
Salt?
Yeah, salt.
Just when the carts break.
I want to be able to salt my lawn so nothing ever grows here.
You know, there is something similar to that, and that's called tailings.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm on it.
There you go.
Put tailings down in your front yard, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't you dare, you live close to me.
It's going on the front yard and in the river.
Lawn tailings.
Now, Mojo, did your guys have any questions?
A question I have, and that everyone who's been following my progress in ECO has had for a long time, is at this point, is there like a viable end game? Can you place the laser? Can you fire the laser? What is the status of that?
So everything is still a work in progress. We are not even sure if we want to have the at one point I heard at least wasn't even sure if we want to have the meteor as a disaster. So that is still open. I think the stuff about the end game.
Mm-hmm.
But I would think like the laser is a viable end game stuff.
And the laser works now, so
That's so cool.
Right now there is a viable end game. The laser's coming, the meter's coming down. You can put the laser up and you can save the world. Now whether they change that and make the end of the world different later on might be something else. But
or if we add even more disaster types, so it's really open still.
Could I theoretically make the laser as a project under the guise of being altruistic, but then aim it at people's houses?
He's asking the important questions.
Okay,
yeah,
you missed this earlier, Cage. I will tell you a story of a guy who came to the Discord channel, and he was, I don't want to give solving the laser problem. I can't give it. I'll try to do this without giving away because people should figure out the laser themselves. But the first problem, he came in and said, the laser doesn't work. I can't set up the computer lab. So we helped him straighten that out. And then he came back in and he said, I can't get the laser to work. And we said, you only put down one laser? And so we got him straight on that. And then he came in and said, okay, I've got 18 lasers and it won't fire. And so then we had to point out that maybe you have to charge up your lasers. So
I'm
he got that.
Charge my laser.
So he got that straightened up. And then he came back in and went, okay, everything's working and I fired the laser. And why did it do this? And he posted a picture and his aim was off. He aimed at the laser he aimed at the meteor when the meteor was on the other side of the world.
So he aimed through the Earth.
Right.
Oh my
this sounds
God.
awesome.
It kind of made a mess.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Self-destruction.
It was pretty good. He had a hole in it.